Hi, this video I'm going to be teaching you how to do assignment 206. You're going to be using the present tense, saying things like I study, I listen to music, my mom practices sports, or something like that. Okay, so first let's take a look at the verbs that you need to use. Okay, estudiar, escuchar, mirar, dibujar, entregar, bailar, practicar, hablar, participar, trabajar, preguntar y buscar. So make sure you use those verbs, okay? Then you need to know the pronouns, of course. So yo, I, tú, you, usted is you formal. Remember, if you're talking to another person, to a police, to the president, to a teacher, you're not going to use tú, you're going to use usted. Ella y él, he or she. Okay. So say, yo me llamo señora Siqueira. Tú te llamas Roberto. Ella se llama Princesa Luisa. Él se llama Luca. So you can see here that I have some letters in red. That means like you're doing the conjugation. You're changing the verb to be in agreement with the subject pronoun. Okay, the other subject pronouns that we're going to learn is nosotros. That means we, or nosotras if it's like we just girls. Vosotros y vosotras, you all. You're not going to use vosotros too much. Vosotros mostly used in Spain. Ustedes also means you all. So if you're talking to one friend, you say tú. Tú hablas. But if you're talking to a bunch of friends, two or more friends, you're going to say ustedes hablan. Ellos, ellas, they. Okay, so nosotros, Carlos y yo. Nosotros is always with I included. My mom and I, my friend and I, you guys and I. Okay, nosotros, Carlos y yo, hablamos mucho. Ustedes, Luca y Carlos, ustedes, you guys, hablan mucho. Vosotros, also you guys, Luca y Princesa, habláis mucho. Ellos no hablan mucho. So you see again the letters in red. That makes you making some changes on the verb to agree with the subject pronoun. That's what is called conjugation. Okay, so first we learn the verbs in the infinitive, right? The verbs in the infinitive in Spanish always ends in R, either AR, ER, or IR. For this lesson, we're going to be learning AR. So the infinitive is basically the original format of the verb. You don't know who is doing the action, you don't know if the action is the present. So if I say to talk, to study, you don't know if I'm saying he studies, I study, he studied last night. So that's the infinitive. So we're going to be learning the AR verbs and we're going to be making changes on those verbs. Okay, that's why if I say me gusta hablar, I like to talk, that you're not conjugating the verb, you're leaving the verb in the infinitive. Because just like in English, I say I like to talk. I don't say I like talk, right? Necesito trabajar. I need to work. So we're not going to use on your sentence, you're not going to use two verbs connected because when you use two verbs connect like me gusta, necesito, quiero, that means you're not going to conjugate the second verb. You're not going to make changes to the AR verb. So that's what we need to do. So to conjugate, let's use an example of the verb hablar, to speak. So every time you're going to conjugate a verb in Spanish, you're going to drop the ending. In this case here, the ending is the AR. Okay, so you're going to drop the AR. You're going to have just ab, H-A-B-L, right? So you're going to keep the stem. That's what we call the stem or the root of the verb. And then you're going to add the different endings according to the pronoun. So for example, for yo, you're going to add o, yo hablo. For tú, has, tú hablas. For ella or él, usted habla. Nosotros hablamos. Vosotros habláis. ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. So notice here that you keep the root, H-A-B-L, on all of the pronouns, and then you just add the different endings, okay? And that's going to be a pattern that you're going to follow for all the verbs you're learning on this lesson. So for example, bailar, to dance, you're going to follow the same thing. You're going to drop the AR and you're going to add the O. Mirar la tele, to watch TV, the same thing. Drop the AR, and because it's two, you're going to add AS. So look at that pattern. If you have one of the pattern, you know all of the other ones. Practicar is el, so you're going to add the A. Practica. Cantar y estudiar, for ella, canta, estudia. Maestro Carlos entrega los papeles. Nosotros buscamos, por nosotros yo amos, buscamos, estudiamos, escuchamos. Y ustedes o ellos preguntan mucho. Okay, so here we're gonna do the first part of the assignment is to write 3 sentences using yo. Okay, so first you're gonna put yo on all the sentences. You're gonna choose what 3 verbs you wanna use: estudiar, escuchar, mirar, dibujar. You're gonna cross the AR for out of that verb. So you have here estudiar, you're gonna boom, cross the AR. Practicar, boom, cross the AR. And then you keep the stem. Okay, so you're gonna keep like estudiar, you're gonna keep ESTUDI, right? And then you're gonna add the O. Optional, you're gonna add cuando, when, donde, where, que, what, or con quien, with whom. Remember that con mi mamá, con mis amigos, or you can say conmigo, with me, contigo, with you, con ella, con nosotros, con mi mamá. So I use, for example, yo hablo, and then I put donde, where, en mi casa. Yo canto, I sing, and then I put con quién, con mis amigas. So again, don't use me gusta cantar, necesito cantar, because you're not conjugating cantar. You're leaving it in the infinitive format, okay? And that's not the point of this assignment. So again, for yo, drop the AR, add the O, and add something. You can say yo estudio español, yo escucho música rap, yo hablo con mi mamá, yo practico fútbol, and things like that. Okay. Then for ello or ella, you have to write 3 sentences. That's the second part of the assignment. And you have to do the same thing. You're going to choose 3 of those verbs, cross the AR, keep the rest of the verb, that's the stem, and add the letter A. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. For this, for verbs, we don't have that agreement like alto, alta, bajo, baja. That's for adjectives. For the verbs, you're always gonna use A at the end, even if it's a boy or a girl. So if I would use dibujar, for example, to draw, I would say mi mamá dibuja, mi papá dibuja. Pablo baila, Maria baila. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. So do not use le gusta cantar, le gusta bailar. Okay, so after you did the 3 sentences with Joe, dropping the AR and adding the O, 3 sentences with ella, dropping the AR and add the A, we're going to do 3 sentences with nosotros or nosotras. So remember that nosotros is we. So you are always included. So you can say yo y mi amiga, yo y mi mamá, yo y tú. And always gonna be nosotros, right? So you're gonna drop the AR, for example, escuchar. You cross the AR, it's gonna be ESCUCH. Then you're gonna add amos, AMOS. So make sure you drop the AR, keep the root, and add the amos. And you can write nosotros estudiamos español. Nosotros dibujamos flores. Nosotros practicamos voleibol. Nosotras no trabajamos. Remember to be the negative, just put the no in front of the verb. Nosotras buscamos a mi perra. Okay, so yeah, so basically that is it. Make sure you write 9 sentences, 3 with yo, adding the letter O at the end, 3 with ello or ella, adding él o ella, sorry, adding the a at the end, and three with nosotros, adding the amos at the end. Okay, so if you still have questions, don't forget that you have the homework help that you can go by just clicking on the calendar on the top of my page, and it's always Tuesdays at 6:30. Thank you so much. Call me if you need help.